Luther Kinsey with Team FYN Sports. I am here with Coach Chris Parker of the Pickens Dragons. Coach, I want to talk to you a little bit this morning about your decision that you made yesterday to resign as head coach of the Dragons football program. Can you tell me what played into that decision and how you came to it, I guess?
Well, opportunity presented itself to expand my role a little bit at the central office and be more of an athletic director. I've been the district athletic director for a couple years now, 4 years actually. And, being a head football coach it probably takes up 70 or 80% of my time. And I didn't feel like it was always fair to take on all those other sports and maybe not be able to give them the time they deserved. And, it also presents me with a little bit more time. Being a football coach's work all from July 4th to Thanksgiving, 7 days a week, and we don't go anywhere in the summer. And as my kids have gotten older, and when that situation presented itself, plus with the opportunity to be around, on the weekends a little more and be around, but still have an active role in athletics and still be here, because it was important to us that we could be here at Pickens. And so kind of the perfect storm for that. I wasn't necessarily saying that had to happen this year, but we felt like over the next few years, if there was a situation that would help all those things, I was going to look into it. And because of the season we had, there probably been some opportunities to go to other schools and coach that would have been good jobs, or there was a great job opportunity to stay here. I mean, nobody encouraged me to quit. It was actually the opposite. They discouraged me. But the combination of getting more time with my family, but the chance to be here still. So I get to stay where I love being here. My family's been embraced here. People have been great to be here. And I feel like for a long term, this hopefully is a better job long term to keep me here for a long, long time. It's hard to be a football coach for a long, long time. You ebb and flow. We're going to have our 10 and O's, and then sometimes you're not going to be 10 and 0, and people don't understand that always. But it just felt like the opportunity presented itself. Kind of everything came together, I guess, to create that, and it just was kind of too good to pass up. So, I thank everybody, Dr. Wilson, principals, all the people that kind of let all that happen. But most importantly, thank all the parents, all the players, the coaches who've been with us and hopefully can grow. My thought is I've just for 18 years I've spent all my time coaching football, and it's going to be definitely different. That was a hard decision to make, Luther. I know it was the right decision, but I didn't really want to do it, but I felt like now is a great time while the team is good. While we got a great team coming back. We're going to be good next year. It's a great time for a new guy to come in and take the baton and run with it. I ran my leg of the race, and your job as a football coach, or really any time you're a leader of an organization, I feel like it's your job to make the place better than when you found it. And I feel like we've done that in every aspect of the program, and now it's somebody else's job to take it where it is now and continue to build. And I'm excited that I'm still going to be here. I'm going to be the athletic director, so I'm going to be a guy that can help them and they can lean on to help grow the program even more. So hopefully I'll look back and say this was a selfless decision, not that we're trying to step away when I'm getting a little, I hate to say burned out, but it does kind of feel that way to some degree, where I'm a little tired, and I can step back a little bit, and the program just keeps building, and we keep making it better and keep making it a great place to be. And then maybe if I can expand helping some of the other sports into growing the same way. So the opportunity to do all that just seemed a little too good to pass up. I realize it's an era where most people probably feel like there's always something else happening they don't know about. But if you know me, most people watching this will know me, that I'm pretty honest sometimes to a fault. So what I'm telling you is it's what it is. It was nothing more than that. It just just an opportunity to get to make what I hope is a better long-term decision for me and my family, and take care of myself, my health, be there for my daughters a little more, but still get to be out here with these kids occasionally, and still get to be a part of it, and still get to have a say in what's going on. And you know, that just seemed like a great opportunity.
Well, excuse me. I want to follow up on your comment where it said you don't want to say burned out, but at the same time it kind of feels that way. Do you agree that sometimes a successful season, as you're coming off of with the Dragons football program, can be more stressful and burn you out more than, say, for instance, if you'd went 2-8, just because the pressure that everyone puts on you to continue that winning?
Well, it's probably it's different either way. I mean, I think there's pressure when you're losing, obviously, and I take the pressure of winning over the pressure of losing. But I just think that we have, for me, I looked at it as one 7-year journey, not just this year. Truthfully, this year was the greatest of them. The fact that everything was so great this year was, one of the things that I want to always remember. I don't want to be one of these guys that 2 or 3 years from now, maybe for whatever reason the wrong kid gets hurt, or we make the wrong decision here or there, and then I'm still the same coach I am now. These guys are the same coaches they are now, but people think less of you. That happens in coaching, and then you have to leave, and then you feel like you don't remember all the good times, if that makes sense. I want to leave I want to be in a place where I can always remember these good times. But I looked at my time here as one long 7-year period, and we just really, I hope people, believe me when we say we have really poured everything we could into being as good as we could be the last 7 years. And if I didn't feel like I could do that for 7 more and pour the same amount of effort into it, then I'm not one of these people that's going to just sit around and take the paycheck and not give the same amount of effort. And it just felt like over the next few years that would happen. And so then this situation presented itself, and it just seemed like the best of both worlds,
Well, when you talk to the team, and I'm sure you have already talked to them and really got them all together, how did they take the news that you were leaving, even though you'll still be here as athletic director and still be around them and have input with them and be there? How did they take the news that you were not going to be the head coach anymore?
Well, I'm sure they were shocked, and they were, I think that factors into a few different groups. You got probably seniors who are graduating who are probably genuinely happy for me, and then you got young guys who really don't maybe understand. And in that middle group, which is the one that'll be playing for us, and have played for us, and I've probably got a relationship with, those are the kids that it's probably the hardest on. And it was the hardest for me to tell you, Luther, that was one of the hardest things you have to do, stand up there and tell those kids that. But we made sure, I tried hard to make sure that nobody knew about that until we told those kids. And I thought that was the right thing to do. They needed to hear that from me, not from anybody else. And but it wasn't easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It was tough. And I'm going to miss them. I'm going to still be here. I think that eases it a little bit. But like I've said to some people, I'd much rather be mad you're leaving than happy you're leaving. So I guess that's good. Sometimes people are happy you're leaving. So if people don't understand, I understand. Hey, if people are mad about it, I understand that. Whatever emotion you're feeling for that, it's just part of life. Change is inevitable. It's part of life to feel certain emotions. And so if I can assure you, though, that there's plans in place. We're not going to talk about that right now, but there's plans in place to move forward, and we're working on that, and I'm still going to be here. So I think the end product everybody's going to be happy with, and I think my involvement is still going to be there, and it's just going to be in a little different role. It's just not going to be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
All right. Well, what is one of your fondest memory in these last 7 years as the as the head coach?
Well, that's a great question. Really, when you said that, 2 things came to mind, and it's going to be an odd answer, but one of them is the obvious answer, which is we won the region championship this year. We went 10-0. We won in the playoffs. Those are all goals we had on the field from day one. We knew the school never won in the playoffs. We knew they'd never been consistently good, where they went 5, 6, 7 years in a row being decent, and we did that. We knew they never won the region. We knew, going 10-0 wasn't even a thought of ours. But we did all those things this year, and so I guess on the field, the culmination, and again, I felt like that was a 7-year award. I felt like those kids that played for us 3 and 4 and 5 years ago helped get us to that game that they didn't get to play in, but those guys did, and those players this year were awesome, man. They were great to work with. It was such a good group. And so that comes to mind as one of the fondest memories. But, you know, the other thing that came to mind was just how our communities had to come together through so many good and bad times. And, you know, we had 2 kids pass away in the last couple of years, which really hard on us. And it's something I probably not the same. I'm going to be honest with you. The drive to just constantly push people to win changes a little bit when you put that kind of stuff in perspective. And it's not a fond moment, obviously, but what was a fond moment was seeing how all these people came together and were here for each other. And it's things like that that made it important to me that there be an opportunity for me to stay here and not just win these 10 games and go take a job that paid me more money somewhere else, because that could have happened. And if you know me, I'm not like everybody else. So some coaches would have done that probably, but for me it was important to be here. But it was going to be hard to maintain the exact same work schedule I've been doing for the last 7 years. So to see how people treat each other here in the hard times and in the good times is what really is the fondest thing I had. And so you talk about how good it was to win the region and how people treated us. That was awesome. But then, you know, how people were there for us when we had some of our worst days. And those years we went 5 and 5, people were fine with that too. I mean, it's a good community. It's a good place to be, and that's why, you know, I'm not from here, but I have put my family here the last 7 years, and we intend to stay here. You know, this is where we want to be.
All right. Well, I've got just 1 or 2 more quick questions for you, Coach. I know you've got a busy day, and I appreciate you taking that time to do it for me. You kind of touched earlier. There's, you know, people will probably like the change that's coming in the future, and I know you said you couldn't really talk about it, but your search or your decision for the new head coach, is that something you possibly can answer as far as looking inward or outside the current staff, or without, I know you can't give too much information there, but
it'll
what's
be,
your thoughts?
you know, I think that if right now, I don't know when people are going to watch this, but it's Thursday at 10:30 in the morning. If you ask me Friday at 10:30 in the morning, I'll tell you the answer. I hope.
All right. Well, I will.
But
it is Thursday, and I will have to be in touch with you on Friday to figure.
Well, I mean, what we're doing,
yeah.
we're trying to move. We're trying to do some things. Nothing is guaranteed.
Right.
We don't know for sure. That's why I will say.
Right.
But we're trying to work on some things to keep as many people here as we can. Obviously, we want all our coaches to stay. All our coaches need to be here if they want to be here. And so it's kind of a delicate process. When people talk about coaching, you know, you see these college coaches, Luther, and they change the staff. You know, Mark Richt left at Georgia. Everybody quit. Everybody got fired. Well, all of them make $300,000-$400,000 a year, and the head coach made several million. So you don't have to feel that sorry for them. Right. Even though it does affect families, even at that level. But when you're talking about a teacher that makes $100 a month more to be a coach, you know, we need to make sure we got everything in order probably. But the plan is, I mean, obviously, I guess the best thing I can tell you that people can infer from is when you had a program been climbing that ladder like we've been climbing for the last 7 years, I do think, and I'm staying as the AD, I mean, common sense would tell you we're trying to keep as many things the same as possible.
Well, I'll tell you, if you've seen your coaching staff all season on the sidelines with you, I mean, I know your confidence level in them, or they wouldn't have been on your staff to begin with. Don't believe you could go wrong with someone internally. Right. There's several guys on your staff, I believe, personally, that could fill that spot and do a great job. The last question that I really want to touch base on is, will the program change with this new coach, or will y'all continue with a new coach and his staff? You know, especially if it comes internally, will the programs kind of stay the same?
Well, that would be up to them. You know, I think that my job is the athletic director, and the athletic director's job is to support the coach. And then we may dismiss the coach. I'm not talking about this guy, but my job for all the sports, so those of you out there listening know, is not to hear who ought to be playing, you know, point guard, or who ought to be playing left field, or that doesn't matter to me. My job is to support the program, and then I make the determination, you know, with the mothers on if we retain that coach for the next year. And then other than that, we leave them alone. They make all the decisions, and we just support them. And then we make the determination, which is how it ought to be. The board does that to the superintendent does that to the principals do that to the teachers. You know, we don't tell them what to do. It's actually, school is run totally different than business, where you would tell everybody what to do. I'm over these people, and I don't tell them what to do. They make their own decisions, and then we decide whether we're going to continue in that direction. And as you know, some people right now during this season in football, there's some people that have told their football coach they're going in a different direction, but they shouldn't be telling them what to do. So with that being said, the answer to that question is the new coach would answer that question. It would be their responsibility to determine, you know, I think something I have to remember, and I'm going to have to tell myself, is if I wanted to be the coach. You know, nobody forced me to resign. Nobody encouraged me to resign. It's actually the opposite, like I said. So if I wanted to be the coach, I'd still be the coach. So the new coach needs to, I have my chance to do that. The new coach needs to make all those decisions. I do think, obviously, if I'm helping select this person, if I'm a part of the process, then obviously I'm going to lean toward people who are like-minded. But the reality is, if the new coach wants to move this desk to over there, then that's going to be their decision. I'm not saying one word about it, you know, or if whatever they want to do. I will answer any questions they have, try to help any way I can. But it's going to be important to me that I'm not in the way and tell them they have to do exactly what we did. I think they need to make the thing their own. I think the best metaphor for this, and I hope this is what people get out of this interview, I hope they watch the whole thing, because I think the best metaphor for this, and I really mean this, is if you imagine people running a relay race. You know, I took the baton and I ran with it for 7 years and kept trying to, and I ran as fast as I could run. And if I kept running with that baton, I was going to slow down and not run as fast anymore. And so instead, I wanted to hand it off to somebody who could still run full speed. And it's their job to take what we've done and hopefully keep as much stuff as they can. That'd be great. But it's their decision. But it's their job to take that and now run full speed. Go move forward. Go make it even better. You know, and nobody, and obviously if I was going somewhere else, maybe I couldn't prove this as much, but because I'm here, obviously nobody would be more excited about them winning than me. You know, like I'm here, so I want the team to be well. I want, you know, I want us to continue winning. We know we now can compete for the region championship. You can go 10-0 at Pickens. You can do all those things. It can be done. It's a lot of work. It's not guaranteed. It's not owed to us. It's not fair to judge the new coach saying he's got to do it. I'm just saying it can be done. And now it's that new coach's job to take the baton and run with it full speed. Because I was slowing down. When, you know, that's how relays are run, Luther. That's why the relay team usually has a way better time than somebody would if they ran that race by themselves. Because it's 4 people running full speed instead of just 1. And so football program's kind of the same way. You got to know when it's time to hand that baton off. Sometimes people hang in there a little too long. And I was worried I was going to do that, you know, if I didn't do this. So I know some people aren't going to understand that. It may not make any sense to them, and that's okay. They're entitled to their opinion, I guess. But I would much rather hand that baton off and see that team excel than hold on to it a little too long.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you sitting down. I want to personally thank you for 7 great years at Pickens, and of course, you know, speaking for the fans, I want to thank you for a 2018 season that just, you know, as you said earlier, set the records of 10-0 in the region championship and going further in the playoffs and all that, and wish you the best of luck as the athletic director solely, and look forward to seeing you hopefully on the sidelines or in the stands rooting these guys on in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.